since there's some new people here, we'll go ahead and we'll get just do a little recap, and all you guys probably heard it before. Well, welcome to Zazio's. We started about 7.5 years ago, like you said, at Radisson Hotel in downtown Kalamazoo. And about 2.5 years ago, the owner of the Radisson Hotel built this building here in Birmingham, and so he moved Zazio down with him. Here at Zazio's, we try and do everything from scratch. We make all our sorbets here, all our filled pastas, all our dry pastas, all our desserts. We try and make as much from scratch as possible. We also try and use as much local ingredients as possible too. We source out a lot of Michigan vendors. We get all our stuff from all our produce from Eastern Market. We have farmers to the north of us that supply us with fresh vegetables when in season. In fact, if you look at that book down there, that stunning gentleman with the white beard and the orange shirt, he is Cousin Don. He is our local farmer guy. When in season, he brings us asparagus, fava beans, peas, a lot of great produce. So actually, in the future, I think we're going to do a chef's table just with Cousin Don. He's quite the character. A little bit about me before we get started. My name is Alex. I'm the executive chef here at Zazio's. I started cooking about 16 years ago. I started down in Detroit at the Renaissance Center at the Summit Restaurant. Long time ago. That's a long time when they used to spin around, and long time, way before Coach Insignia. After there, I spent a couple semesters at Macomb Community College. Then I moved to New York and spent some time there, went to the French Culinary Institute. After graduation, like I said, I stayed in New York for a little bit, and then when I moved home, I was the sous chef and helped open up the Western Hotel at the airport. Then I opened up City Cellar, opened up Cameron's, bounced around a little bit, ended up here. So I've been here in July, so almost a year. And I've been doing the chef's table since November, so I'm okay at it, I think. You gonna give me your seal of approval? All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Is it too loud? A little too loud? No, it's fine. I'll take it down just a little bit. Does anybody have any questions real quick before we get started? Okay. This lady's going to be asking questions all night. I can guarantee you why. Where is my big hat? Big hats are kind of passe. They don't really, don't know too many people that wear them. Now it's kind of the ball cap thing, but it's kind of a special night, so I thought I'd do my hair. I just never do. I almost always wear my ball cap. How many chef's tables have you guys been through? 3? Okay. Where's that at? Sweet. Threw me off. Why we're here tonight? Tonight, as you know, every month we do a different theme. Usually it's a region of Italy or a theme like balsamic, olive oil, chocolate, something along those lines. And then every once in a while we do a beer chef's table, which are very popular. So if anybody has any questions about the beer chef's tables, ask me later and I'll pass out the menu. But tonight what we're doing is there's a gentleman here in the audience that actually wrote a book. He wrote a book how long ago? Okay, about a year and a half ago. And it's called Vino. Thank you. I can't even. And what it means is when in wine there is truth. So the gentleman that's sitting next to the man that wrote the book is kind of what inspired all these stories. Basically, it's a part fictional, part truth. It's about his adventures as a wine representative, as a wine rep, and all the things he's seen and done. It's also got a lot of wine anecdotes in there and a lot of information about wine. So if you are interested, the gentleman will be passing out books and signing them. And the gentleman who all the stories are inspired by is actually going to talk about all the wine that you guys have tonight. So you guys get a little added bonus. So not only is our typical chef's table, it's a lot different, but we have somebody talk about the wine. So anybody now have any questions? All right, then we're going to go ahead and no more. Okay. This is my aunt, by the way, so that's why I expect to get a hard time. Usually it's the gentleman sitting next to her, my uncle, that gives me the hard time, but it is a special night. Because the gentleman I hope everybody continues like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have the guy, what do you want me to call you? Anything? Just for sake of argument, his name is Todd. He's going to start talking about the wine. And when he's done about the wine, we're going to start pouring it in. I will then talk about the food, and then we'll kind of go through there. So if you guys have any questions, please. As you guys know, the more questions you guys have, the more fun this is for you, the more fun it's for me. If I don't know the answer, I will either look it up or I'll lie. But I'm usually okay. So, Todd, you want to go ahead and get started and talk about the first wine? And you want a microphone? Yeah. Yeah. That is actually pepperoni sauce. We do a lot of products and stuff on the Kalamazoo, so actually they had some extra brought it down. So, you want to talk?
Hi, I'm Todd.
Hey, I'm Todd Ellis, aka Vino. I do wine tastings and food pairings a little bit different than anybody else. I don't get down to the microbiology and things like that. I like having people leaving with a little bit of education. Just give you a little bit of my background. I started out as a merchandiser, went into sales. In 1 year, I took a territory that was doing $250,000 up to $1.5 million. Helped run a couple distributorships. I worked for a couple California wineries for about 7 years, but I was on the road for 200 days out of those 7 years. So right now, what I'm doing right now is just basically helping people out. But the first wine that we're going to have this evening is a Prosecco. Prosecco actually comes from Italy. It comes from the northeast corner of Italy. What you're going to get with this is a little bit of lemon, and then on top of that, it's going to have a little bit of carbonation on it. It's great during the summertime. What I like telling people to do especially during the summertime, you always go outside on the patio, and you wonder how come your drink gets so warm quickly. So what I always tell people to do, this is something I came up with years ago, and it's really helped out a lot of people right now, is take some white grapes, put them in a plastic bag, and freeze them. And then, if you're going outside on the patio, especially with the white wine, throw it in your glass. It'll help highlight the wine, and it'll keep the wine cold at the same time. If you're having like a champagne, what I tell them to do is use strawberries. It brings out a little bit more of the sweetness in the wine itself with the sparkling. But the difference between basically Prosecco and Champagne is Champagne has to come from the Champagne region, which means there's a small place in France itself, which is Champagne. Anything outside of there is called sparkling. So this is actually sparkling. Just like with Prosecco, it's governed by the government. It's called DOCG. What the DOCG does is maintain the quality of the wine, and they also make sure that they don't put anything else in it. So the government's constantly watching them and looking over them. So this is actually a DOC wine or sparkling. It'll have a little bit of carbonation, which will go great with what Alex is fixing right now. But thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later.